Welcome back to the Final K, the official podcast of Flamme Rouge Racing, where tactics, tech, and tenacity all come together. I'm your host, Nathan Krake, and I'm joined by FRR Race Control himself, Mr. Rich Vale. This is episode 5, and we've got a fantastic episode coming up. In this episode, we're going to look at the World Tour Series coming up. We're going to talk about Super 6 Series racing and the finals that are around the corner, and Classica as well. So clip in and let's get into this. Now, before we get started, I just want to let those know watching the stream live that we definitely encourage questions and participation. So if you do have a question you want to ask or some other information you want to share with us, just add the word question there at the start of the comment, and we'll do our best to keep an eye out for it. Now, and we'll do our best to answer too. Also, if you haven't already joined the FRR Discord server, a link to it and the Flamme Rouge Racing website are in the description below. So, welcome, Rich. How's it all going? It's great to see you again.
Well, I'd say Happy New Year first, actually, because at the end of the day, it was last time we spoke, other than actually online and everything else, is just before Christmas time.
Good point.
So,
good point. What's the rule on that? How late can you go into the year by wishing someone a Happy New Year?
Well, maybe we could probably stop doing it by December, but there is that. I don't know, actually. I think January is okay, but we're only just into February, and but we've not. I suppose technically we have. We did on Friday when we were doing it pre-show, but
yep.
But hey, it's soon Chinese New Year, so I mean, they get to do it at least 13 weeks after.
Okay.
After the New Year, we'll be doing Happy Chinese New Year soon.
That's the rule we're looking at. Yep.
Yeah, I think we'll go with that rule.
Do it up until then.
Yeah, exactly. But no, good. Thank you. I mean, I had a good Christmas.
Yep.
Good start to the year. I say good Christmas. Actually, I had a bit of a fall actually at Christmas time. So
what happened?
I sound like really old. Yeah. Well,
really
I felt. I know. I had a bit of a fall. No, I went for a run. Went for a run, felt good.
Yep.
Got about 50 meters, tripped, went down like an absolute sack.
Right.
And just bashed my knee up and that sort of. So that really took me out. Took me out probably the last couple of weeks before Christmas. So I missed the last sort of 6-1. I just couldn't do anything. And knee's still not right now, to be fair. But
ouch.
But yeah, so I won't be doing any more running at the moment.
Well, that's a great reason for not doing running.
Yeah, I was supposed to do a marathon this year, but I think we've just had to postpone those hopes and aspirations on the basis I can't run 50 meters. But so.
Before we get on to the tops that we're wearing, because I want to show them off. Is a marathon running, is that something you commonly do? Is that like a New Year kind of challenge?
No, it's called. We did a half marathon last year, and it's called Bucket List.
Right.
Simple, think is bucket list. We did I did a half marathon last year in London. Shout out to Parky from Team Dirt at the end of the day, who Alan Gallego Park. So we did that on behalf of the Bodies Hoddies charity last year.
Yep.
We really enjoyed it. So okay, we've got to do a marathon. We've got to tick that off. It's a rite of passage, I think, even for you, Nathan, to say I've done a marathon. And okay, I don't have to do it in Mo Farah speed and that sort of speed, but just
complete it.
I think at the end of the day, exactly, just completing it and knowing that actually, I've got through it. But so that's the idea. So it's really tick boxing stuff. It's sort of bucket listing, tick boxing.
Yep.
Before really that, I start trying to design another box. But
too many boxes.
I know. So that's all it was really. But we're not going to get there. I think this year we're going to have to postpone it to another one.
Oh, it's a long year. There's lots of time left. Maybe see how you go later on.
Well, now, I wasn't going to be ready for the 18th of April. Anyway, go on. Yes.
These tops. Check out the tops. Look at these tops.
I know. It's. I'll have a good shout out there to a couple of people really within Octaine space. I think at the day that have got these things out. Aidan Fitzgerald and his design guru Danny.
Yep.
they have produced, some great merchandise for us in the Octaine space, the Octaine FR Flamme Rouge Racing space, and I think actually, the materials are really great, the garments are really great, they're great quality. They've always promised that,
Mm, mm,
and for the people that are receiving these things, there were people, before Christmas who signed up and got stuff through Instagram, a giveaway there. They are
yeah.
lovely. I mean, I don't know. How does yours feel?
It's a fantastic. I actually wear it quite a lot. It's been my go-to hoodie, and I think it's really hard to sort of see the quality of it, but it's actually really quite. I don't know. You can see that sort of that stiffness there, and the
Yeah.
stitching there, and yeah, it fits wonderfully. Although I think Emma Martin, when she received hers, was a little bit miffed at the fact that it was 14 sizes too big for her.
I think Emma, no disrespect to Emma, but maybe a bit more French food, and fill it out
A
a little
a
bit.
little bit less riding. You're
That
saying,
that sort of stuff. But I know, I think people wear the hoodies a little bit bigger these days, and
yeah,
but yeah, I think there's less room in mine.
yep.
But maybe I got a smaller size. I
Maybe
don't
you
know. Maybe
did.
I'll have to check.
Yeah, yeah,
But no, they are really good. They complement the hats really well.
yeah.
Um,
I'm
so
I was looking for my hat before the show there, and I don't know where I put it. I think it might be out in the living room
you've
somewhere.
mismade your hat, haven't you?
Yep.
Honestly, one job, one
One
job.
job. Yep.
All you got
But I've
to
got the
do,
hood.
one job.
Oh, got the hoodie on.
But
Um,
but and what I would say is that while we have said that the when we're looking at six and we're going to get into those finals, and if you get onto those podiums, then you will get a prize. Now
mm,
it may be something like this. But I'm still waiting to know exactly what we're going to put on there. But it will be good. And it'll certainly worthwhile, turning up and getting that team of yours onto the podium. So, it doesn't matter whether you come first, second, or third, you'll get something. So yeah, I'm excited to see one, how that racing goes,
yep.
and two, yeah, what we can deliver for everybody.
Well,
Um,
while talking about Super Six, do we want to get into that and have a bit of a chat about that?
I think we're rude not to.
Yep. So we had race 4 over the weekend
Yeah, we
of
did.
the so race 4, race 5 are the two final races of round 3, and that will conclude the series as such. I've got to tell you, race 4 was actually really fantastic. It's one of the from a strategy perspective, from a race management perspective, and I think for a lot of the guys that were in the teams that we had running, they really enjoyed it because the dynamic, having that wild card set up that you sat down and figured out, having that wild card with the 2 league points really changed the dynamic of the race, and it was really fantastic to watch. And then of course we got together with Emma Martin and we commentated on the Europe race, and
Yep.
that again was fantastic to watch. That we watched the A's and C's battle it out there, so that was really just awesome to check that out. So how do you think it went?
Yeah, I mean, from our perspective, I mean, I was racing the D's on that particular night in the Delta space. I mean, scratch races to me are, there's a couple of things. Try and keep as much of that peloton together for as long as possible,
Mm-hmm.
because again, it's trying to get people to the end of that race. Give a couple of opportunities for a bit of a break, a bit of a mix it up, bit of a, can we drop a few riders out? But what I don't want to do is drop riders really at the start unless you're really only making up numbers because you've almost been forced up.
Yep.
But equally, a scratch race is trying to bring as many people to the rate to the finish as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And you touched on the wild card side of things. The wild card side of things, I think, is it's not revolutionary, but what we're really seeing with six. I don't know how it is on your discords when you're racing WMZ, but there's an awful lot of chat that's going on
Oh
in
yeah.
our Discord
Mm,
about what we're trying to do, who we're
mm,
trying to mark out,
yep.
and just how to succeed in the race. And
Mm.
the 2 league points, not just 2 points for the
2 league
team,
points.
does make it really. And by only going down to 5, now I'd have loved to have gone to 10. And if when we get to the finals, we've expanded that out to 10, but they'll work slightly differently. And we'll talk
Yep.
about that probably on the next podcast ahead of. We'll try and get obviously we'll try and get a podcast in. We'll look to try and get a podcast in
Yep. The finals.
before the finals,
Yeah.
before the playoffs, really, and
Mm,
we can talk
mm.
about that as well. Just to talk people through about the theory, the tactics behind it all.
Yep. Yep.
But ultimately, it just says, look, it becomes really, it's a high reward for a high amount of effort.
Yep.
And I've got my theory about actually how I know we're only counting at the moment in this rounds 3 of the 5 riders you put out, but that was an attempt to bring more teams into the league. And we brought about 15 teams more into the league at the start
Yeah.
of this season. Dyno's appeared, and they're really having some fun out there. And more teams came in because they said, "Oh,
Mm.
I can put 3 in. I need to find
Mm.
5 by the time we get to the playoffs and the finals."
Yep.
That's fine. But 3 says, "At least I can get people out there now,
Yeah. Yep.
and get teams out there." And what I'm finding is teams are going, "Oh, I've got more people interested."
Mm.
I probably had more requests to say, "Can I bring a team in now?" And well, no, it's a bit late now. Um, Series 2, and other riders are getting involved with other teams that are existing. Now whether it's because other racing series are coming to a bit of an end, and as the natural thing of a
Mm.
virtual indoor racer is what's next,
Yep.
and yeah, or something else. But ultimately, yeah, I think it's delivering what I'd hoped.
Yep.
Yes, I'd love to have more, but
Mm. It will grow.
we've got 150 odd teams out
Mm.
there that have appeared over this course of this season, and we've got a lot of people engaged week in, week out. So I'm happy that it's doing exactly what I'd hoped to be able to do with
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
we're learning as well at the same time.
The
So
Absolutely one of the things that I keep hearing from our guys, and so we end up registering a second team late, obviously in round 3, because we just had a bit of a rush of numbers of people who wanted to join. And so that, yeah, really the two things that I hear commonly are, one, the strategy and the tactics behind Super 6 is so much more dynamic than in other racing series, and two, the amount of communication going on mid race in Discord is heightened. It's a lot more than we have in any other race series that we do as a team. And so one of the things you touched on was, that talking about, what do the different riders in the team need to do to win. I remember that we're actually sort of breaking up the race into individual smaller races and competing against, depending on which group that we find ourselves in towards the end of the race. We've got a couple of guys up the front, we've got a couple of guys mid pack, and we're discussing what's going on technically, throughout the race. So it's not just sort of start the race, smash as hard as you can for as long as you can. There's all these nuances going on as well. So it really is a fantastic thing. And I think almost everyone that has participated who have been in the other racing series have looked at that and thought, that's awesome. That's actually a lot more fun than they thought it would be. So I think it's only a matter of time before more and more riders, more and more teams understand that, and they're going to get on board.
and I think that, as we've said probably all the way through, the feedback's been great. And what's actually been, talking about the feedback's been great. Um, the regular attendance, we haven't dropped really from when we've really started. Okay,
Mm.
I think when we started, we were putting 5 riders out. So the only reason our numbers were higher at the start is that teams were putting 5 out. Now they've actually sort of leveled out into that sort of 3. We've had consistent numbers that haven't dropped off all the way through. So
Yep.
that's great. And, I think that just says that, people would vote with their feet. If it had died on its feet, they would have voted on their feet
They would have
instantly.
left. Exactly.
Absolutely. And they haven't. And it's not because, oh, we're going to get a prize at the end of it, or there's a hope of a prize. It's actually because I think they've enjoyed it.
Mm. Yeah.
And the other angle to it, which we've spoken about many times, is the fact that, Series 2, when it comes, and we'll talk about Series 2 probably end of April.
Okay. Yep.
about how we're going to do this. So I think that's ultimately, I think, a good tier of time to take some feedback from all the teams that have been and the clubs that have been there. And I've already got a really good blueprint for it, but I just
Hmm.
want to check that that blueprint holds water.
It
The biggest
works.
thing that we'll do is that it won't be on a Friday.
Yep.
It will be on a night, and um, that will make it more accessible for all of the teams globally.
Yeah.
And that's the key thing is,
That's the tough thing, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, it is, you know, and there are some things, and we'll save that conversation for another one
Mm.
later on, maybe you know, towards I don't know, so we'll save it maybe to the end of March when we start opening it out to discussing it and put a bit of an open forum on it. But
Yep.
we've only got 7 days. We've only got 7 days
To pick from, isn't
really
it?
choose from. So I mean, and there's some of those that you just think, no, 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 no.
Yep.
So you're only left with a very small handful anyway, and
Yeah.
eventually you've just got to put your, you know, your hat on a peg and
Yep.
go, bang, that's what we're doing.
Yep.
You know, I think it's been really great. I'm
Mm.
happy with how it's gone. Could always do with more, but you know, we're
Yeah.
going to head towards finals across 5 leagues with at least 10 teams, 10 to 12 teams. Certainly in A to D, there'll be 12 plus as a minimum number of teams in the finals.
Yep.
That's if they turn up from that perspective, but obviously they might not. And that is for me is an ideal number to get into a final. You've
Yep.
got 12 teams of 5 riders. That's enough riders on screen to have absolute chaos going
Mm.
on sprints,
Yep.
on climbs, on wild cards,
Mm.
all
Mm.
sorts.
Yep.
And yeah, and if someone can try and desperately work out the points as they're going along, they're a better person than I am. Um, so um, so
Yeah.
yeah, because I think
Where
yeah, it
I
will
was.
literally be every rider will count,
Yep. Every
every
point
point will
counts.
count,
Yeah.
every position will count, and you can't say you do that in many races.
No. Exactly. Hey, before we move on too quickly, have you got any tips for race 5? I've been studying this, and this is a hard one. So we're on the Muckle Yin.
We are on the Muckle Yin, so I think when you've got to look around about how have things been placed. Um, so you know when you look at the little mini map at the if you just scroll up a little bit, obviously the one at the bottom, you know,
This one down here.
at the end of the day. So yeah, so I think in WMZ and AHDR space, you are neck and neck,
Oh,
as you know, going into this week, and you
yeah.
know
We're
equally know that one
Yep.
team goes direct to the final, the other ones have got to go into the good old repechage, as you might say in canoe or whatever else, but we'll go into the playoffs. So you've got to say to, well, how do I maximize everything?
Mm,
How
mm.
do I get my wild card points are going to be really key.
Yep.
So you say, well, who do I trust to get there? So that's an absolute must. Got to get my wild card point.
Mm.
If things are tight, wild cards will make all the difference. So teams have certainly got to choose a rider who can get in the top 5 over the little kicker,
Over the little
which
ticket.
means
But plus
which
those
means they've
plus
got to
those two
yeah.
climbs.
Absolutely. That means they've got to get, you know, the sprints will be less of a problem,
Hmm.
but they've got to get through the climbs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, one of the key things about who do I have as my wild card this week is that it doesn't always have to be the GC rider. It doesn't always
Mm.
have to be the climber. It doesn't always have to be the sprinter. It's based on what the course has been put out there and where I've positioned that. This week we're saying, well, okay, I would say we're probably favouring either the GC or your climber.
Oh, your climbers. Yep.
So that's this week, and you know I think when we come to look at playoffs and finals, you'll find there'll be a similar sort of experience going on there of where they're actually positioned. You're going to have to dig deep
Mm,
to get
mm.
there.
That is a tough course. That is. I'm looking at that now and I'm feeling tired already. That's a hard one.
Well, you know, you know that little X that says it finishes here. I could have just finished it a little bit further, and it would
You
have
could
finished at
you,
the top of that
you could have
next
moved
climb, wouldn't
you
it?
could have moved the wild card a bit sooner in the race too.
Well, could have done, couldn't I? But you know, imagine if I'd have put the wild card on the champion sprint right out of the blocks.
Oh,
Can you imagine that?
that would have been chaos.
that would have been
Yeah.
worse. It would have been worse than drag racing in the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, I could have handled
So
that better than over the climb. So I think team selection this week is going to be key to this. Trying to
well,
find,
the roles, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. The role
the right
selection, who you're
riders.
going to put there,
Mm,
and yeah, it's so I think, and again, it's certainly in our race. I mean, if you looked in Europe D, it is so tight in Europe D. I think there must be about 7 teams
mm,
chasing the last two, well, position 4 and 5 in the league, and they're
yep.
separated by probably 2 points between 7 teams. So yeah, there's a
There's
lot to fight for.
not much in it, is there?
No, there is not. Um, mm. Oh,
It is going to be
what an
fantastic.
no,
Um,
and it is, and, I must admit, when I've looked for I finished on Friday, I just think, "Look, I'm already excited." I was listening to the playback of the commentary on Friday. I was excited about hearing it again for next week,
yeah, yeah.
and I can't say that too much about doing any other events.
Mm,
And I'm not just biased towards my own, but, I must admit, the people that, support what we do, race in, are just they're just a great set of people to be around,
yeah, yeah,
and, they've fostered that sort of community for 5 years.
yep.
So, yeah, so
No,
they can
it's
have
been.
banter,
Mm.
in race, even though at times it was very quiet in our race actually on screen. There's very little banter going towards the pavé sprint, I must admit.
Yeah, that
So
was yeah, it got a bit quiet for us too. Oh no, we were sort of still talking up about a K out. But then yeah, that sort of broke the race apart for us. Um, but
mm.
we attempted a couple of long, or definitely a long range attack about 3.5 Ks out from the start.
Oh,
So
wow.
we decided to give it a go then, and use one of the sprints as a bit of a um a misdirection. And but
Okay.
I think yeah, WMZ were all over it, and we didn't get far up the road before they were back on it. So
Were
no, it
they?
was yeah, it was good. It was great race, great race.
I think
Um
from our perspective, just as yours, from my perspective, I said, "Well, look, I'm not a sprinter. I'm not gonna win something that is," if I go for the actual pavé sprint, I'm not gonna win that. There's plenty of bigger, stronger
hmm,
guys to do that. However, if I set off 800 meters to go before it and try and get 3, 4, 5 seconds and then try and desperately hang on,
hmm,
maybe I can
hmm.
get in the top 5.
Yeah,
And that's what we did.
yeah.
So to get our 2 points. So, yeah,
And you
that's
got him?
just a power it up. Yeah, got my
Yep.
2 points. I
Awesome.
was happy.
Yep. Fantastic.
Yes. Cool.
Do we want to talk a little bit about so we've got the dates of the finals just very quickly?
Yeah, so just a little bit of running through on finals and playoffs.
Yep.
So, obviously, once we get past this week, we will know how many people, based on what we've set out there, will go direct to finals.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there could be a couple of spanners. There could be 2 people tied on a 5th place somewhere, and if that's the case, then we'll honour that and send both of those direct to final because they're 5th, which will take
Yep.
away one from the playoffs. Um, Now, everybody else to a point will get invited. If again, if you've made the criteria to get invited to the finals, or which is, have I done 4 races in round 4,
Yep.
and those sort of things, which is about the only criteria that we've got really, is have I done 4 races. Then we'll give you a playoff place to go and do that. Now, obviously, that will bring together APAC, that'll bring together the States, that'll bring together Europe at 7 o'clock on the 7th of March.
Yep.
And for that, we'll hit the what have I put on there? I've put the Three Musketeers, haven't I? Three Musketeers for the playoff place
Mm-hmm.
is where we're actually going to for that particular. No, it's not Three
No,
Musketeers.
is it after
I'm looking at
Titans
the wrong one.
Grove?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. It's
Yeah.
whatever's under playoffs there. So if you
Yep.
click on playoffs 1900 Watopia, so it's actually Watts of the Wild. Watts of the Wild, that's what it is.
Yep.
So yeah. So again, there'll be plenty for everybody in that one. And we'll talk about that towards, I think we've got to probably do another podcast towards the start of March before this playoff kicks in. Because we've got a
Yep.
couple of weeks of hiatus to do it. And that's because obviously we've got a world tour sat in the middle of it. But we'll get onto that in a minute. So yeah, we'll get past this weekend, and then by Monday you'll know whether you've got a playoff place or whether you've got a final place. And the key thing is really the communication from managers and from teams to say,
Mm.
yeah, we're going to be there, because I'm not. There's no point in doing a playoff place if I've got 5 places going from a playoff to get you into a final, and I've only really got 6 teams.
Yep.
Then my head says to me, I'll just invite all 6 teams to come to the final,
Yeah.
because only one team's going to miss out. So no, but if I've got 14 teams vying for 5 places, then fine, it's a playoff place. It's
Yeah.
something to race for.
Yep.
So I think we've got a couple of weeks of communication to make sure that I
Everyone's
don't waste people's time.
everyone's across
I
it.
don't want to waste people's time. Exactly, everyone's across it.
Mm.
And now the other key thing that some people have asked for is, and I've certainly looked at, is that, okay, look, we race Friday. People's ZRS, not ZRS, Velo scores will have moved on Friday. Some did. But now they're frozen. So you get past 8, because next week's is a points race. They wouldn't have been affected.
Yep.
So they're now frozen now. So if you are eligible for Friday, you are now eligible for a playoff. So effectively, and finals. So
Okay. Yep.
we'll use the numbers now.
Yep.
It doesn't matter how you move through the world tour, because people will move through the world tour. I'm not bothered about that. You're eligible now
Mm-hmm.
if the final was next week. And the only thing that riders have got to have done is done at least 2 races within the series as a whole.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So we've made it a bit of a low bar to get in, but equally low bar in one respect, but equally it's giving teams leeway to find riders if they're struggling. I don't want to
Yeah.
get people to the
Yeah.
finals and go, can't put a team out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but there
Yep.
are other teams and other riders whose team didn't get there, who are eligible to come on, and as long as they can actually ride at that level
Mm.
and they've done the 2 races, it doesn't matter whether they've already ridden for AHDR or for Art or for LEQP.
Dinos. Whoever. Yeah.
If Diners, whatever, if Evo needs a rider and they've met the criteria,
Mm.
then they can be selected. They just need to switch their team around,
Yep.
and then they'd be doing it. So
So,
again, it just gives leeway to put a team out, because that's
yeah.
all you want to do.
That's awesome, actually. And so the best way to get across, excuse me, to get across that for those that are watching or watching this back later is to go to the FRR Discord server. The link's in the description below. So if you haven't gone there, go and sign up, and then you can ask those questions, and also you'll get that relevant communication directly from Rich as it happens. So you'll know exactly what's going on. So Rich got a question from Lardinio. Will all divisions be filmed for the final? Loved watching A and C commentary last week and looking forward to D this week where they're racing.
I think the ZMS guys have said that they'll be able to flick through all 5 divisions.
Yep.
We have to be a little bit careful the way that that production can work, just in case it freezes out. But fingers crossed that Damon's been testing hard and with the way that he does all his great work, that we can get across all the divisions. So yeah, there'll certainly be something, and because of the stagger. A's will have finished before E's get near the line and all
Yep.
those sort of things. So,
Yep.
we'll certainly be flicking around the divisions in the finals. Now, we're not going to show what's happening on the playoffs. That will just happen. We're going to focus on the final, and we're
Yep.
going to focus on race 5 to get us there.
Yep.
And let's say this Friday we'll focus on B's, with a probably predominancy of the D space, because there's a lot going on in the D space.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think that would be and it's a good race in there as well. I'm not saying it's not a bad race in the B, by the way.
Will you be on camera for that race?
I'll be a virtual somewhere there in there, but well, I'll sort that out with Dave and see if he wants me on puffing and puffing in that, then
We'd have to have you there doing
sure.
that. Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
I know, I know. Well, I'll be there. I'll be there trying to. I'll be there as a disruptor.
Well, we've actually got Damo from ZMS Esports Studio in the chat, and he's saying at the moment that it's probably the most complicated setup to date with a whole new live streaming profile and distances. So, um, you're just ticking off first slow the place.
Thanks, Damon. I think you meant to say thank you, Richard, for giving me a most complicated thing to do. But you wait to the final, Damon, and you have to put that one on there. So I mean,
Mm,
there are so many segments in that one that it gives me all sorts of things that I can actually then play with. But that's for another show, I
yep.
think. At the end of the day, before it as we
Yeah, we can talk
preview
about that
through.
later. Yep.
Yeah.
But
But yeah. So good.
well, I'll definitely be on. I think if we're lucky enough to make it to the playoffs or the finals, I think it'll be at the same time. We're all racing at the same time, so I think I'll be on camera as well. So won't just be you.
Wow.
There'll be multiple
Okay.
suffering picks.
Multiple suffering indeed. Well, and it'll be interesting to see how those different regional sort of divisional,
Mm.
league teams get on. You know, they've raced their happy space for for the periods, and now it's like, oh, now we've got to go and face up against Europe, and now we've got to go face against the States,
Yep.
and just see what mean
How?
animals that they'll put
Yeah.
off screen. Yeah,
How they line up.
exactly. And of course, when we get to those finals, each one of those teams is going to need 5 riders.
Mm.
So, every position will count. And I hear that, and again, we've retracked a little bit, but you hear that so many times
Yep.
that, oh, race, but I never count for anything. Well,
Mm.
here, if you're the fifth
Yeah.
rider in the team, you're as important as the guy at the front
Yeah.
because you're being asked to do it, just beat somebody around you because it could
Mm.
be the difference. And I
Yep.
can guarantee somewhere it'll be 1 or 2 points,
Mm.
and it'll be the position on a sprint. It'll be a finishing position somewhere. So all of those things will count.
Yep. And the great thing is
So
that it's all fastest through segment too. So it's not first across the line. So if you're not able to stay with the front, and a lot of us can't, if you can't stay with the front, typically that means that, well, that's it. There's no point. I'll just TTT myself home, and it is what it is. Whereas this is fastest through segment. So even if you're not with the front, you still have a really awesome chance of getting points if you are a climber, if you're a sprinter. Line yourself up, set yourself up. There are no power ups, so everyone's on the same playing field, everyone's on the same bike. It just comes down to how good you are, how strong you are, or how fast you are. So it's definitely that whole playing field is quite level.
absolutely, and again, just make sure everyone gets, has a voice in the race.
Mm,
So,
yep,
that's all we look to try and do is just you know bring everybody into play.
yep. And Venita says, "Thank you for all the hard work."
Oh, it's like a swan. There's a lot of people that make everything that we do come to life. Yes, okay, I do a fair amount in all those sort of things, but if I look at the totality of what we do, from branding to the point of putting a show on, to putting a production on, to James out in Zwift, who constantly has to field me fiddling about with events to go, to put a little bit more pain into it a
Mm,
little bit more pleasure in it for people. Then so there's a lot of people to thank.
yeah.
That this isn't just I might say, yeah, okay, yeah, it's a team of one, but it's certainly
Mm,
not a team of one, because um there are so many people that and let's say, even think about the community of riders, that if I do all of this and there's no riders there, then without the community, um, then you have nothing anyway.
that's it.
So, and I tend to think, if people didn't like it, they wouldn't be there.
Mm, mm,
So, So maybe there's also a little bit of I don't know, masochism out there that people are
Well,
signing. This is
da-
your free will that you're doing this for. Remember,
no
um,
one's forcing you, eh? Well, Damos just gave a quick shout out to all the poor, suffering families and partners who put up with all of us for when we're doing this.
mine's normally cycling next to me, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
okay, So yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are. I mean, actually, on our screen, actually, on Friday, we had at least three cycling sort of families on screen doing it at the
Mhm.
same time. So you
Yeah.
had um, husband and wife on there, all doing it. So we like to keep it in the family, clearly.
All right. Let's get on to the world tour. Talk to me about the world tour.
All I'm going to say on that one, and somebody will recognize what I'm saying on this one, is Happy Valentine's Day. So there was a little bit of a run out there on Discord at one point in time, and but I do like to give a lot of love on Valentine's Day, and I feel as though the World Tour is it. Um, so I think what I can say about the World Tour is that. We set out our tours this year to be different types of tours: rolling tours, hilly tours,
Mm.
flat tours. Um, and all the way through, oh, FRR's gone soft. Oh, look at it, how soft it is now. A little underbelly, just tickle its underbelly a little bit. And roll over, FRR. You've all gone soft on us. And then it's like, okay, keep chatting. There is one more to come yet. And so this is as mountainous as it comes, I think, in a week. Um, so um, so yeah, so it'll be good to see all those people, and I know who you are.
You've got the list.
I've got the list, yeah, of all those people that have gone, oh, on a bit more hills. Well, there's your hills on there, and I'll look forward to seeing you do 8 stages, and then you can go, oh, okay, thank you. And yeah, look, but we can't afford to do a tour like that every time because
No.
that wouldn't be fun. And as much as I'm sure F also stands for fun in Flamme Rouge Racing.
Sure it does.
Some people do, they almost put that in the chat at the start of events saying, have fun. I do forget to say that at times to people,
Mm.
but yeah. So anyway, World Tour. We are doing things slightly differently on the World Tour this time.
Yep.
What I've tried to do on this one, what we're certainly experimenting to do on this one is one pen, one class.
Yeah, okay.
So there will be times, as we've put on screen, and as we'll be releasing this week with the race passes, where we've got the traditional two classes in a pen,
Hmm.
and so at 6 o'clock in the morning,
Yep.
the late ones. But on the key times, those key times, which the 10:30, the 1 o'clock, the 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the 16:45. They'll all be set up as one pen, one class. So if you happen to be a K rider, for instance, in your space there, Nathan,
Hmm.
you'll turn up and let's say you want to race at 10:30 in the morning. The only people in your pen will be Ks.
Perfect.
You won't have any. You won't have any bonds. You won't have any. And if you're a man or you're a woman and
Hmm.
you're in that pen because that's where I've told you to be because we're
Yep.
using your open VLO, you're all racing each other for GC.
Yeah.
That's the first thing to think out. Your GC is mixed. I don't, animal, vegetable, or mineral. You're all racing for the same thing if you're in that pen. If you happen
Yep.
to choose the wrong pen, well,
Can't
then
help
you've
that.
not read any of the information that I put in front of you. Um, but now, if you're looking at climbers, polka dots, if you're looking at green, if you're looking at combined,
Hmm.
now we're keeping those as gender based spaces within that one class. The
Yep.
reason we're doing that at the end of the day is, again, there's still a disparity, isn't there, between, okay, a K classed woman because in an open space is probably, and the argument is, I still don't have the same amount of raw power as a K classed man in a sprinting space. I might be able to outclimb them, and in fact, I'm pretty sure they will. But there are, both genders want to win their particular jerseys from you know, climbing and sprinting against their own effectively.
Mm, mm.
But in the GC space, we tend to think that if you look at those pens in any other tour before it, the women tend to stay up as certainly as far as the men.
Yep.
And so I think at the day we're competitive. And if of course it goes horribly wrong and it doesn't really work out, then look, we'll have tried it, we'll have seen it.
Yeah.
And but at the end of the day, if we look at your open VLOs, and if you're a lady out there, or if you're a woman, he says, okay, my women's class is, let's say I'm a ruby, but under an open class that will drop me down to Hab,
Hmm, hmm.
and it'll drop me down to what's the word for Hab? Is it sapphire? Probably a sapphire,
I
isn't
think
it?
yeah, it's about that.
Yeah, something like that. So therefore, that's the leveling to say, okay, look, you're not racing against ruby men. You're now going to be racing against sapphire men,
Yeah.
and so that's what we're looking to do within this one. Now, the reason being ultimately is that um, you know I want to give people competition.
Mm.
I want to give people. I want you to be in the pen and go, I know that I'm racing against somebody. The men have traditionally had enough competition in their pens, but the women, I think, have lacked it.
Mm, mm.
So let's bring everybody together and just say, right, everybody in this pen is my competition now. I don't need to know my FRHC if I'm doing it one pen, one class at those
Yeah.
times,
Yeah.
because I know that if I've chosen this
The,
pen, we're all the same class.
we're all the same. Yep.
Um, exactly. Now, if we're doing the times when it is mixed class, that's different.
Yeah.
But in general, the core times, and we've cut the
Gonna
times
be.
down to deliberately bring more people together.
Yep.
Because one things that one pen, one class needs is numbers. I
Hmm.
need to have at least 10 caps,
Yeah.
10 DRAs, 10 of
To
everything, or
make it
whatever else it
viable.
might be,
Yeah.
to make it work. Because there's no point
Mm,
if there's only 3 in it. Now everyone will see each other on the road, but as a staggered start.
mm.
So, but yeah, and look, I could have not done this. I could have saved myself a whole load of setup issues and an extra time to do it, but I've done it.
Yep.
And I've never been afraid of trying to do something different, trying to bring more competition to people,
Mm.
and we'll see whether this works.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the that's so world tour. There we go,
There we
hilly,
go. Can I
not
just
as long.
but
Go on.
equally
I've
brutal.
waffled.
Besides stage 2, which is 730 meters of
Mhm.
elevation, can I just bring your attention to stage 7 and 8, please?
Yes, yes, you can. Be
990
nice.
meters of climbing and 1710 meters of climbing. Thank you very much.
It is Quatch Quest though, so I mean, it has got the Alp in it, hasn't it? So, um, of which that is most of that 1710. It's only right that we bring the Alp out really for this one. Um, it could have been worse actually. Haley talked me out of she taught us you can't have Ventop in there as well because it was in there originally. So I had to take Ventop out.
Fin top.
Yeah, I know. Shocker.
Oh,
But
were you just angry that day you're coming up with a race plan, or
I felt as though sticking it in on the stage 2 was probably a bit harsh, really.
stage 2 fin
But
top? Thanks very much.
exactly. So yeah,
Just
so Ventop did come out,
yeah,
unfortunately.
just the one lap.
Um, just the one lap, unfortunately. Yeah, yeah. But what I think the standout stage, I love the Alp anyway for various reasons. Actaban is good. You might say, is it really, Richard? It is, only because you don't do them very often. But I think stage 5 will be utter carnage. That 33 kilometers on stage 5 on the 19th.
Mm,
Um, we'll have A's in the middle of D's in the middle of everything.
yeah,
Yeah, people will be all over the shop there.
yeah.
They won't know what they're chasing. We've done that one once before.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I think Yeah, that will be one to look forward to.
Absolutely. And so for those that are watching, if you want to get involved with this, head over to the flamerougeracing.com website. You can sign up, you can register, and you can get involved with this one.
Yeah, it's open now. Well, race passes are going to appear probably Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to do that, and then we'll go from there and get people signed up and ready to go. Yeah,
And
and you know, let's not forget as well that we've got some prizes.
I was about
So
to
you know,
say that.
people, you were okay, all right. Sorry,
No, go ahead. No,
I
no,
stand
no.
back.
That's all
Yeah,
right.
no,
I was
no,
going to say,
no.
don't forget the points and the prizes. So give us a taste.
Yes, taste. Yeah, so I think we, in Watopia in January, we gave out £500 worth of prizes
Wow.
as a minimum, I think. And that is a combination of the indoor jerseys that we use. We've now got Verge Sports as part of our sort of process that you can, and spend your points against.
Mm-hmm.
So they're online. There's some good discounts in there. So we gave some of those jerseys away as part of prizes there. Yeah, it's. I think we gave about 20 people got drawn out across that one. But way I've now putting this out is that look, people are supporting us by subscribing and donating. If people donate, and people have donated, then I will go back in and I'm actually going to just tick your subscriber box because you've probably given as much as a subscriber, if not
Yep.
more in some cases. So tick your box, you'll be part of that. Now, again, prizes. Anyone can enter our races as long as you're registered.
Yep.
You'll be part of the results. But let's try and make being a subscriber worth more. Now
Mm-hmm.
we're doing it as far as we go with the race rewards to get the discounts to go and use either with Level or with Verge Sports. Or with our own website with our t-shirts and those sort of things when we've got more in there. But if I can just say, okay, yeah, if we'll also then say if you're a subscriber and you're finishing events and
Yep.
partaking in events, then you're entering into the draw rather than just anyone. I want them to be subscribers to us.
Yep.
I
Yep.
love it. And people go, of course you do. You're going to get a whole £10 off me, which is
Mm-hmm.
an enormous amount of money, I don't think. And that's not going to change. I've got no plans to change that into next season.
Yep.
It can stay. It will stay the same. It won't change. But what we do want to do is say, well, look, if you are a subscriber and you are doing these things, then it's your name that's going in the hat for prizes.
Perfect.
And all it costs you then is an email to me to confirm your size and
Yeah.
your address. And as people are using the coffee chat and the Kit Kat walk to show people what they're getting, that's exactly what we want to see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're you're giving us some great time, some great feedback, some great everything. We're just giving you something back for being here, and it's something that will run into Triquetra when we get into Triquetra.
Yep.
There's other things that are going on in there, and certainly in the new series, which will be the Weekend Warrior stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well,
prizes.
that is so awesome. So £500, that is a fair whack. I mean, there's no other Zwift racing series doing that.
No, I can't think of anything that gives
Yep.
you anything in real life.
No. Yep.
So,
That's
I
yeah.
mean, it's, and again, all you've got to do is
Sign
complete the
up.
tours
Yeah.
or be part of it. And, you're buying your ticket with effectively, if we're doing 4 tours a year, 5 tours a year, then, you're buying those tickets across all those and across all the other events that we do.
Yep.
So, if anyone gives any more, then please shout it out. So
Yeah.
I'd
let
love
us
to
let us know who they
know
are.
what it is.
And just very quickly on that, for those that do have a voice in their clubs, have a chat with your club, get them involved because Rich is all about sharing this as well. So if you've got a club that wants to put on a series, be part of a series. Rich is definitely wants to work with them, get them involved, and then help share some of those proceeds in a way that is meaningful.
Exactly, yeah. And pre-Christmas we obviously did events with Team Fearless, and we'll do
Hmm.
some more that way. Vertislow, put their Christmas piece on there,
Yep.
and we want to do more in that space too. So the more we can sort of bring other people's race series is to give them a web space to promote
A
themselves.
platform.
You
Yeah.
don't need a website then. You don't need
Mm.
all those things. Just come and we'll stand up the page.
Yeah.
It just costs us a bit of time in logo
Oh,
and putting it together.
next to
So
Nick's. Okay.
yeah.
Hey, let's get into Classica.
Ooh, what's that? What is classic?
Let's have a look at that because that looks really interesting. You got the three.
Well,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
I
Good.
mean, what we've put together now is a series that the tours are going to finish, Triquetra is going to appear, and we'll talk about Triquetra on another time.
Hmm.
And it's all about what's coming up next. But
Yep.
Classica is about honouring the 1 day classics that are in the cycling calendar, and doing it a little bit more than just on a 1 day. I think
Hmm.
we're setting out to do a series that is a bit of a weekend warrior piece,
Yep.
and I think there's a desire out there that says, "Can I do something with my time Friday, Saturday, Sunday?" So this is where the idea of the weekend warrior place has come in.
Yeah.
Classica is going to kick that off. I looked at all sorts of different names for it, and now obviously it doesn't take. It's not like a rocket scientist to really work out Italia, Belgica, and Franca at the end of the day. But
Mhm.
ultimately, you've got Milan San Remo, you've got Flanders, and of course you've got Paris Roubaix across those three famous.
Yeah.
There are other
Yeah.
ones, obviously, like Baston Liège and all those sort of things, but we're going to just focus on those three for the time being. I
Hmm.
think they work well with our schedule as a run up to Triquetra without trying to pack too much in. Um, but the whole ethos of Weekend Warrior is three different race series, three different race formats.
Yep.
ITT on a Friday. People have got need more leeway time on a Friday to be able to do their event. So give them an ITT with no draft. Doesn't matter when you do it.
Hmm.
Turn your result into points there. Saturday or the Sunday now, wherever the major race is. So if Milan San Remo, I think, is actually on the Saturday. So that'll be race day as far as we're concerned there. And, and we'll choose a particular course that will honour in our virtual world Milan San Remo. It's a rolling, punchy course. So we've picked a rolling, punchy course. And, we've done a course that says actually this isn't just a 40 kilometers roll up and do it. It is a course that some people won't have the badge for. So I think we've chosen what did I choose? That's gone off the top of my head now.
I was just jumping over there actually.
Okay. It is La Corsa.
Here we go.
Gosh, I didn't even need
Yeah.
to
No.
do that, did I? Oh, Zwift Games 24 is the actual course that we chose for it. So again, lots of nice little punches in it. Nothing too big, but again, it's all about the punch, and that's all what Milan Samurai is all about.
Mm,
All about
mm.
the punch. We'll get to the Sunday. Great, we've done that one. Let's finish it off. So over the course of the weekend, we will do a good amount of distance based on what Milan San Remo did on the Saturday.
Yeah.
And that's, so the three together effectively go Friday, we get points for,
Hmm.
Saturday, we get points for, Sunday, we get points for. I roll all those two together. That's your event set of points for that particular weekend.
Yeah.
And that will go into the series. If I only do two of the three races, you'll still get points. You'll just
Mm,
get less. If I only do one, I get
mm.
less again. And the whole series will run starting with that particular one on the 21st, 20th of March, and it'll run all the way to the end of August.
Yeah.
Now, your best event is three races, will count towards that series. And again, prizes for finishing in the top 10. You'll get prizes if you're a subscriber. So again, if you've subscribed, you're already in.
You're
You just need
done.
to do the races.
Yep.
So So that's the ethos behind all of those. When you look at Flanders is a cobbles based race. Can't think of any better place than to do cobbles races than around Richmond. Um, you know, I wish there was some slightly longer, more adventurous routes around Richmond, but you know, we've got to go with what we've got.
Yeah, yeah,
On that perspective, but you know, I think those little cobble climbs really do. I mean, you look at Flanders, I think it has 22 or 28 climbs
yeah.
in the actual race itself, and it's crazy. It does about
That's
3,000
insane.
meters of
Yeah.
climbing. Now, I can't give people that, unfortunately.
For a weekend?
Um, I think I'd have to do about 10 laps of cobbled climbs, I think, which no one would thank me
Nobody
for.
wants to do that.
Nobody wants to do that. And then you've got Roubaix at the end of the day. And again, it is cobbles again, but a flatter set of cobbles. And that's where, you know, when you look on the Sunday in Hell, if you interpret the French and the Belgian and the Italian that I put on there, then that's what Dimanche Enfant is talk about, which is you know, Sunday in Hell, and that's what Paris Roubaix is all about. And of course, that one is actually a scratch race on the end of the day, so don't worry about any of those particular segments because there's so many of them on Sacre
Yeah.
Bleu doesn't matter. It's a scratch race. Just get to the end of it. And again, the other thing that people have asked for is give us a race that is, you know, it's a good length. It's not just 25 or 40 kilometers or whatever. It's a good length race.
Yeah, these are decent.
To you know to give my weekend training some oomph.
Some kick.
So you've got that in there,
Well,
and that's where those little classics are, because classics are longer one-day races, and that's what we've got.
yeah, 54 kilometers, 73 kilometers, 82 kilometers with 870 meters of climbing, you know, 410 meters of climbing. These are not easy races. These are not easy. So anyone signing up to these knows exactly where you're coming from in terms of how much this is going to
they'll hurt, but I think at the end of the day,
in a good way.
Again, the other key thing of this one is that FRR is going public with these, so these will just be in the app. So you don't need to come into unique. Yes, register to be in this part of the results. Subscribe to buy a ticket in the prizes, but these will be in the app. These will be ZRS restricted pens.
So anyone can join, is what you're saying.
Anyone can join. You know what's going to happen. If we're looking around for a race to join and I don't know much about it, hopefully there'll be a few numbers. I'll go and join that race because there's a few numbers in that one. And being ZRS restricted, again, it'll be, and they're mixed races. There won't be a women's set of pens. There won't be a men's set of pens. It's a ZRS set. So I've got to put that together, which we're working on. So it's easier to get into. Information within the events will tell people how to sign up if they want to be and all those sort of things. But ultimately, it'll be there right in front of people. Just say sign up. You've got to have a smart trainer. You've got to have a HRM.
And that's
so we're not taking and a ZRS value that will at least get you in it.
Yeah, that will get you in there. And Andre just in the chat said, by FRR standards, these are mostly easy races.
Oh. Where does he live?
Just having a little dig and add him to the list.
No, where does he live? Yeah, okay. Just send me over his handle, so I'll look him up and send one round. But exactly. But I mean, yeah, I think they'll be really good events at the end of the day. There's we've got lots of time to promote, to push, to remind. Get some help from the platform because again, these are now public races. So there shouldn't be an excuse really to not give us a bit of a push to
get the numbers up,
get that out to the platform. Yes, we've got Zwift Games and all those sort of things coming up, and but there's plenty of leeway to just keep doing a Zwift game thing every whatever. So yeah, I think sort of as this particular series will go, kicking off with these 3 classics will be quite different.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fantastic. So, get along there, flammerougeracing.com. You can definitely get all the information you need, plus the rules any other information that you may require. Well, Rich.
And just
Yep.
one point on that one, actually. The one question that some people have had for me on is, what about if I upgrade? If I do my ITT on a Friday and my ZRS goes up, and I'm now, I'm not in my pen C, I'm now in my pen D or pen B because I've gone up. You just win your points where you win your points.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So if you move and you've got to go and win your points in a higher grade, so be it. Very people, and if you sort of can go and win them in a lower grade, great. But ultimately, if you go up or if you move, you go where you basically
Yep.
put yourself,
And so it
or
doesn't change at all.
doesn't change at all because at the end of the day, you're just winning points, you're just
Yep.
winning positions. And there'll be more rules and that sort of things coming out
Mm.
about how those points are, but ultimately similar sort of concept. It's going to be, but it will be contained in your race.
Yep.
And there'll only be about 3, maybe 4 races each day certainly on the Saturday and the Sundays. There's not
Yeah.
going to be 8
A
options. There's going to
huge
be about
range.
4
Yeah.
races,
Yep.
and to try and make it a happy for everyone. Yeah.
Andre says that he's sort of pointing out that the Italian races don't have the only Italian route in the game, which is Bologna, and
They
so
do. Yeah. Oh, no, that's true. Yeah, true.
he's
Yeah.
suggesting that you should have added that and done 3 laps of that.
I did look at doing that, but I figured I'd go with something slightly different. I could have put Bologna in there, but that's not quite Milan. Okay. The only thing is it's Bologna and it's Italy. That's the only
Yeah,
link for
the
it.
only hook.
That's the only hook. But if Andre thinks it's a little bit soft when he comes to the end of it, then he can come and have a chat with me. I mean, we are opening up on an ITT that is called May and San Remo. So I mean, I am at least
Ooh.
picking the one route that Zwift have named after the
Yeah, that
actual
has
race.
it in the name. Yeah,
Exactly, you see.
yeah.
So yeah, it will build over that weekend. So yeah, you'll be happy.
Perfect. All right, Rich. Let's wind this up and bring this home. Any other
Yeah.
final comments before we wrap it up?
I don't know. I just think we've got a lot going on. We've obviously got the show this Friday with our race 5. That is
Yep.
going to be incredible and madness. I'm really, I can't wait to see how that show's going to go through that race.
Yep.
I really want to see how those results come out. I think at the end of the day, um, you know, there's a lot of people that go, yeah, we're in the finals now and we're happy. We're untenable. But the ones that are right on the edge, are going. Can we just get to the finals, or do we have to go to the playoffs?
Yeah.
I can have a week off, even better. Which will be good, and of course, for those that, and unfortunately, I'm one of those that has really got to race on the Friday quite hard. Then
Yep.
obviously we're kicking off with the World Tour on the Saturday. So
Back to back.
happy Valentine's Day to everyone who's going to have to do that, especially my team in Art. Shout out to Art and everyone in there because there's a lot of teams there that have got to bust a gut and then do it again on the Saturday. But at least the Tour says to us, it's not won or lost in the first race, and that's the key thing.
Yep.
And
Exactly. Yep.
it's you're in for the long run that week. But otherwise, I think we've just got so much going on into 2026 now that keeping pace with it all. I think at the
Is
day,
going to
making
be.
sure that the communicating out there, making sure I can get to teams quick enough to keep things moving in the right direction,
Yep.
people aware. The biggest thing that people, Swifters sign up for races like that. They sit there and go, Friday night or whichever night it might be, what can I do in the next 10 minutes? I'm looking now. But people want to know about things well in advance. They
Yeah.
want to be able to plan
They can
things.
work things around.
So,
Exactly.
and at least know about them. So that's the key thing, is that
Mm.
while we're talking now and focusing in the next week, I've got to be looking into April and May
April,
and
May,
June,
correct.
um, and those sort of things and beyond. You know, I've already planned how I want Series 6 to be, the tours for next year, or for, you know, for the next season, how I want 6 to be. Those things are already planned. I've already got dates. The
Mm.
dates are already there. So yeah, you know, we're going to do things differently, is what I'll say.
Because
Again,
if you need to
go
come up with decent excuses, you need time, don't you?
on. You might need decent
No, no,
excuses.
no. For my wife,
Um,
my poor
well,
suffering wife, because I know that if I turn around and tell her that I'm racing on Valentine's Day, even if it's going to be early,
oh,
it's
don't
got to
you
come with
start.
something decent.
Oh, can't do Valentine's Day. Oh, honestly, come on. Are you man or mouse today? But
I'm smart and I'm a survivor.
yeah, exactly. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Any supporting partner, I'm sure would go, you know, it's your day as much as mine.
I would like
And
to.
then she'll and then they'll wink at you and then go, yeah, okay, then I
Yeah.
won't race then. But no, we've got a lot going
Yeah.
on, and you know, I think the key thing is to keep people communicating,
Yeah.
talking, and if people got questions, to ask them, because you know, we don't hide from any question,
No.
or any point whatsoever. The door's always open to anything, and yeah, you know,
Yeah. For
uh,
sure. I was going to
to make
say,
everything we do as incredible as it is,
yep.
um, it takes everybody from every team to contribute,
Yeah.
and they do.
Yeah.
So and it makes things better.
Which is fantastic. So if people do have questions or they want a little bit more extra information, head along to the Discord channel. As I said, the link is in the description below. And there's a spot there for the different series, the different tours that are there. And if you've got a question, you can ask it. And Rich is amazing when it comes to responding so quickly. It just blows my head off. So, yep, it is awesome.
Last
All right.
thing,
Yep.
last thing for all our American people, if it's any
Oh,
American people
that's
out there listening,
yeah.
just sort of just, you know, I might change my NFL team more than my cycling shorts, but you know, I'll say Seahawks.
So you're on the
So
Seahawks bandwagon now, are you?
we're on the Seahawks bandwagon. So yeah, so go Hawks, and
Super Bowl Sunday.
well, it's tonight. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's our next viewing platform for
Who
later on tonight. So
who are the Seahawks playing?
they're playing the New England Patriots. So
Okay.
so you've got Drake May, a young quarterback out there,
Yep.
who yeah, it looks like he'll just about get through it. But then you've got Sam Darnold for Seahawks, who's had more teams again than hot dinners, but has had a phenomenal season. In theory, and you know, for as much as I will know, Seahawks should
Bring it
power
home.
through.
Yeah.
But you never know. You know, they're out in San Francisco, fantastic place to go and
Hmm.
go out there. It'll be warm. It'll be a fantastic spectacle. I'm sure it will be. So
Awesome.
and let's see what happens. But anyway, so go Hawks, and we'll see what happens next time.
All right, riders. Okay, so if you're still with us, you're officially part of the breakaway. Here's what you need to do next. If you haven't done it already, subscribe to the FRR YouTube channel. Jump into the Discord if you've got any questions, you want extra information, or you just want to chat with other people that are already participating in these tours, in these racing series. They're all in there. Don't forget to send us any of your FRR stories you've got. You got any race selfies, you got any pain cave shots, throw them in the Discord chat. We love seeing them. And hopefully we'll try and include them in future podcasts we have. So thanks for tuning in. And remember, whether you're chasing watts or just trying not to get dropped, ride smart, ride spicy, and when it gets hard, lean in. Thanks, Rich, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Cheers. Bye now.